Hussey. I think there might have been a little tickle on this outside edge. Definitely. And just a little tickle. It seemed to go straight into his hands. Oh, yeah. Just hit hard.
And that wasn't another drop.
Seemed to me that Clark knew. Let's see if this is a little nick. Oh, yes, inside edge onto the pad, but I mean, that's...
Oh, he dropped another one, I reckon. The thing is, you see the drop and all your mates around the wicket. He hit the ground, but also hit it before he hit the ground. But his mates around the bat all...
One of... down the leg side and hit the bat or the glove. Let's see. Oh, dear me. Another one. And this is a straightforward catch.
Have you ever seen a wicketkeeper put on such a disaster-class performance? And as if that wasn't enough, he even missed a straightforward run-out chance. And of course, Hussey, who basically got 3 lifelines, smashed a brilliant 134 and flipped the game on its head.
Last ball be over. He goes again. Down the ground.
A match Pakistan should have won comfortably turned into one of Australia's wildest comebacks.
He is out!
I can't even imagine that dressing room meeting afterward. No surprise, the ICC even looked into it for possible match fixing. That's how unbelievably bad the performance was. Whether it was fixing or just an all-time blunder, only Akmal knows. Now, bad performances from players are one thing, but when the ICC messes up, that's when cricket turns into a full-blown circus. And it's happened way more than just once or twice. But the day cricket truly hit peak embarrassment was during the 2007 ODI World Cup. Many fans called it the worst World Cup ever. And once you hear what happened, you'll see why. The tournament was hosted in the West Indies, and from day one, things were a complete mess.
And a quiet reaction from the crowd. Hardly anybody applauding, a little bit of applause.
The crowd had zero Caribbean vibe, and it wasn't their fault. Tickets were so overpriced that most locals couldn't even afford to attend. So, as expected, the stadiums looked half empty, even when the West Indies were playing. The match timings were disastrous too. Matches would start around midnight for subcontinent fans, making it impossible to follow consistently. Then came the tragic death of Pakistan's coach during the tournament, and the investigation afterward was handled in a way that many felt was insensitive and unprofessional. There weren't many close games. Excitement was missing, and both India and Pakistan got eliminated in the first round. By this point, the whole tournament just felt like it was falling apart. And then came the final, which took the embarrassment to a whole new level. Australia versus Sri Lanka, the 2 strongest teams in the tournament, had stormed into the final without any real trouble. But with the way this World Cup had been going, of course, the final wasn't going to be normal. Rain delayed the match by 3 hours, cutting it down to 38 overs per inning. Australia batted first and absolutely hammered 281 in those 38 overs. When Sri Lanka came out to chase, they actually looked steady, until the rain returned. Another stoppage, more overs cut, another target adjustment. But once things finally resumed, Sri Lanka's innings crumbled. The equation had blown up to 64 runs off 18 balls, with just 3 wickets in hand. At that point, everyone knew how this was going to end. The light kept getting worse. Dark clouds rolled in. Visibility dropped. And here's the crazy part. The stadium didn't even have floodlights. And umpires eventually had no choice but to offer light to the batters. So, with the conditions getting darker by the minute, the chase basically impossible, Sri Lanka finally gave in. Game over. Australia won the match.
Australia have won the World Cup of 2007. They've done it in extraordinary circumstances.
The team exploded into celebration. They just secured their 3rd consecutive World Cup title. The crowd went wild, and the ground staff rushed in with the presentation stage. But then, something unbelievable happened. Right in the middle of the celebrations, the umpires walked up to the Australian team and calmly informed them that the match wasn't actually over. They actually told them to come back tomorrow to finish the game. Ponting froze on the spot. His expression said it all. "Mate, you've got to be joking." The match was already decided by DLS. Both teams had agreed on it, and everyone accepted the result. So why on earth would you stop a World Cup celebration and tell two teams to come back tomorrow just to play 3 overs? Basically 10 minutes of cricket. It made absolutely no sense. Just imagine telling the fans, the broadcasters, the commentators, the ground staff, basically the entire cricket universe, to return for a formality. It was insane. So Mahela Jayawardene and Ricky Ponting got together, talked it over, and both agreed this was ridiculous. But the umpires stood firm. The rulebook said the match was suspended, not finished. Both captains agreed and decided rather to get back to the field and finish the game tonight. By now, the ground was getting darker by the second. The presentation stage was dragged away again. The stumps were brought back out, and the players walked onto a field that was basically turning into a shadow. It was so dark that Ponting only used spinners. Fast bowlers would have been downright dangerous in those conditions. Without a night vision camera, it was almost impossible for the crowd to watch them play. The final 3 overs were merely an unnecessary and frustrating formality, with everyone watching in absolute disbelief. The scenes were absolutely ridiculous, playing out on the international cricket stage. When the last ball eventually bowled, the Aussies got to celebrate their incredible 3rd consecutive World Cup win again. The ground staff brought the stage onto the field again, and the final presentation was done in almost complete darkness. After the match, everyone had the same questions. Why did the umpires force the teams to play those last 3 overs when Sri Lanka had already completed the 20 overs needed for a result? Who thought hosting a World Cup final at a stadium with no floodlights was a good idea? Later, even the ICC admitted its officials had completely mishandled the situation. This wasn't just embarrassing, it was a full-blown meltdown. Alright, now let's look at the moment where Sir Ian Botham ends up embarrassing himself on live commentary.
I think the field is absolutely, completely wrong. They've changed the field, they brought fine leg up, they put a man out for a short wide long off. What is going on?
There he is, the man out for the short wide long off, and he gets it. Well done, Ian Botham.
Well, there you go, the curse of the commentator. What is he doing out there? That's what he's doing, Nass.
Zaneth goes for it full on, middles it but hits it flat. It never got more than about 10 or 12 feet. The guy that I've just been criticising, and it caught it at a very, very comfortable height.
But commentary slip-ups pale in comparison to what happened during a 2016 Big Bash League match involving Chris Gayle. In a 2016 Big Bash League match, Gayle had just smashed a quick-fire 41 for the Melbourne Renegades.
Short again and bigger this time!
After the innings, Channel 10 reporter Mel McLaughlin called him over for a standard post-innings interview. And that's where the moment went sideways. Instead of talking about cricket, Gayle suddenly started flirting with her on live TV, complimenting her eyes, asking her out for a drink, basically acting like he was on a date instead of giving an interview.
Incredibly aggressive approach for you two. It looks like you're absolutely just smashing this innings.
Yeah, definitely. I want to come and have an interview with you as well. That's the reason why I'm here. So just to see your eyes for the first time, it's nice. So hopefully we win this game and we can have a drink after. Don't blush, baby.
I'm not blushing. Any injuries? Did you have any? The boys were saying maybe you picked up a bit of a twinge in your hamstring.
Yeah, no, it's my back. I've been, struggling with my back. The weather kind of actually flared up a bit. So you know, just to get some physio work and hopefully I finish the tournament. So I'm looking forward to go recover well and look in your eyes.
We're going to leave it on that note. Well done, thanks.
Sorry.
One of the more extraordinary interviews.
Mel clearly looked uncomfortable, and it was pure secondhand embarrassment for anyone watching live. And of course, by the next morning, the clip had gone viral everywhere. Gale was hammered with criticism. Experts and fans slammed his behavior, and Mel herself said it was a very uncomfortable moment.
Absolutely right, though. I would much rather... I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not used to being at the centre of any sort of story, and this one certainly escalated.
The league ended up fining him $10,000, and Gale later apologized, calling it just a simple joke that got blown out of proportion.
You know, a joke, a simple joke on there, and you know, it seemed to went out of proportion. There wasn't anything meant to be disrespectful or offended to Mel, and if she felt that way, you know, then I'm really sorry for that.
But now let's check out some ridiculous screw-ups, the mistakes that had everyone laughing. Remember George Bailey? Yeah, the man literally got himself run out in the silliest way possible.
Again finding the fielder in the deep. He's got a good arm, Yuvraj Singh. Oh, this could be trouble. He cannot believe it. George Bailey. He is gutted. He was looking behind to make sure that hadn't got to the crease, and good presence of mind by the bowler.
But the next moment, that one went viral for all the wrong reasons. During a match, New Zealand player Mark Richardson suddenly experienced muscle cramps after hitting a shot. The way he fell to the ground and the way he twisted around, along with the sounds, had the entire stadium laughing.
Oh, goodness me. This is probably one of the most funny things you'll ever see in Test cricket history. I mean, he looks in great look at previous Latchman in the background. He can't control himself. People are laughing all around because he smashed that 70 yards and hasn't been able to move an inch. Well, he won't think it's hilarious. The sound, I've got to say, people at home will be saying, don't be mean. Oh, jeez. I've seen some funny things, but they're struggling to contain themselves, these blokes. At least when he comes to stretcher out. What's going on here?
Well, I hope there's nothing serious. It's only a cramp. It's not pulled or torn the muscle. But everybody's got big smiles on the face. Rarely this happens.
That's some pretty funny viewing, you'd have to say.
But nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to the hilarious blunder involving former Indian cricketer and commentator Arun Lal. During a post-match presentation, he actually forgot to call the winning captain to receive the trophy.
Thank you very much, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. You've really entertained one and all. Thank you very much and well done.
Thank you so much.
So that was the big one, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Man of the Series award for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. That was the Polaris, a magnificent vehicle. And now it's just upon me to thank all the dignitaries here who've helped us with the presentation. And a big thank you to the crowd here in Trinidad. We've loved you all, and we've had a great time. Thank you very much. Oh, I beg your pardon. The most important thing of all is the trophy. Let's have MS Dhoni here. MS Dhoni and Virat Kohli here to receive the trophy and the award.
But you know what's even more embarrassing? When a player ends up humiliating himself because of his own overconfidence. And for that, we head to the 1999 World Cup in England, where Pakistan faced India in a high-pressure clash. Wasim Akram was Pakistan's captain, and he walked into the toss absolutely bursting with confidence. He was so pumped, so sure of an easy win, that he said this.
Wasim, you gonna have a bowl? Are you worried about that?
Not really. I think it'll be a good practice game before the crunch games coming up. We would like to chase in this game, and I think it's a good toss to lose.
But
8 hours later. He's hit that one. This could be out caught. That's it, all over. Beautifully taken down on the boundary.
Chasing 227, Pakistan bowled out for just 180, losing by 47 runs. And after the match, Akram had this to say.
This semi-final place is in a bit of jeopardy.